This video will explain the high-level security analyst workflow that Elastic applies to the design of the Elastic Security or SIEM app in Kibana, as well as signpost where to go in the tool to perform those actions in the respective stages of the workflow. The stages are broken up into 5 main areas: triage, focus, investigate, escalate, and act. First, let's start with triage. The aim is for analysts to be able to group, cluster, and prioritize alerts. There are 2 main areas where this can be performed. They are the dashboards page, where you can find a summarized view for a single use case, for example, alerts or cases, as well as interactive reports and/or investigations for a single use case, and custom dashboards specific to your environment. The other place is going to be the alerts page, as you can see in the screenshot. Here you'll be able to see groupings, prioritization, and visualization of the alerts in the system. You'll also see use case driven and custom views for those alerts depending on what data source they've come from. For example, you can see an alert view for Tanium specific alert types. When an alert has been selected for assessment, you can then focus on it. The aim here is to be able to see summary statistics, look at the alert details, and see a recommended data view for that alert. So the first place that you'll see this will be the alerts details flyout. The alert details page allows you to then open up a flyout for that particular alert, and that's where you will find the alert investigation's starting point. This is what you can see in the screenshot on the right. In addition, you'll also be able to see threat intelligence enrichment as part of that context as well. Next, you also have the rule definitions. Here you'll be able to see an understanding of what triggered it, the description for it, how it's triggered, and a dedicated view for the alerts in a graph and visualization within that page. Last, you'll also be able to use the dashboards again, but this time you can use the entity, user, or network-based information charts instead. When an analyst needs to dive into more detail to understand more about a particular alert and to do root cause analysis, identify prevalence of a potential threat, and be able to access historic data, one of the main areas you'll be using is timeline. Here you'll be able to build hypotheses via the timeline search queries and save them, as well as include and use timeline templates that have come from rules to help guide you in that investigation. You also have access to Discovery and Lens in Kibana as well. That will help you be able to look at the raw data itself and create visualizations to support your hypotheses. When something useful has been found, you can then escalate that via cases. Here you'll be able to build and log those different elements of an event timeline from the hypotheses performed in the investigation step, so that others will be able to learn and understand what conclusion you've arrived to. In addition to escalate, the SOAR platform will also help with this, such that when you perform actions on certain alerts, automated steps and enrichment will be performed in the background. The last case is then around acting. Here, this is where you can close, add exceptions, create rules, and also perform other actions on the host where agent is available. Here, under cases, you can change the status of both the alert and the cases itself, and assign that case to other SOC users or teams as well. Here, you'll also be able to close cases once a certain action has been performed against the investigation. Last is also then creating or modifying existing detection rules. So from here, using the steps that were created in the investigation area, you can use those same searches that you used to perform there to be able to modify or add to the rules already included. You'll also be able to update reference data within the environment as well to include things like false positives.